What is going on, guys? I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. We are at the point now where we are hours and for some days away from the start of the hockey regular season. So today, we're going to go out there and we're going to predict the results of every single team's first game of the season. And our first game of the season is the Montreal Canadiens versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Canadiens are in prove people wrong mode and Carey Price is at the helm of it. And he has to be. I think Price has to bounce back this year, but it's not going to be easy without Pacioretty, without Galchenyuk, and even without Shea Weber for what seems like a possible couple months. The shining light, Kotkaniemi. I don't feel like I said that right the first time, but it sounded nice. He made the NHL roster much sooner than anticipated. On the other side, we have Toronto welcome the biggest free agent signing of the summer, John Tavares, over and now what looks like a very lethal Maple Leafs offense. I think the Canadiens are going to have to start this season strong if they have any playoff aspirations. But Johnny T in his first game as a Leaf, I mean, come on. In Toronto, this game feels like all Toronto. We're going to say the Leafs win 3-1, but we see a big 40-plus save night out of Carey Price to keep him in this one. Boston Bruins versus Washington Capitals. The Capitals are reigning Stanley Cup champions, come home for their opening game, and it's against no easy foe. The Bruins come in with arguably one of, if not the best, lines in hockey in Pastrnak, Bergeron, Marchand. Coming in and beating a team on banner night, never an easy task. But I think the Bruins play spoiler here on what should be an electric playoff atmosphere and beat the Caps 4-3 in overtime. Calgary Flames at Vancouver Canucks, two teams hoping for a lot more out of their seasons this year after both missing the playoffs last year. We'll get our first look at the highly touted Brock Besser, Bo Horvat going up against the newly acquired Noah Hannafin and the rest of the Calgary Flames defense, who I still think has the potential to surprise a lot of people this year. Surprising some people, something Canucks fans are hoping for out of Markstrom this year, coming to his second full season as the netminder for the Nucks. He won 5 of his last 6 starts to end the season, and although there's a 5-month break from then and now, I think there is a reason for some optimism in the Canucks this season, and they will pull out a 2-1 win over the Flames. Anaheim Ducks versus San Jose Sharks. The Ducks and Sharks are seemingly in the playoffs every single year, and they look poised to make it happen again this season. And it's going to be exciting to see what Erik Karlsson can bring to an already talented, loaded Sharks team. Sharks take this one 3-1 in their home opener. New York Islanders versus the Carolina Hurricanes, the tale of two different teams. One who moves Hannafin in the hopes of acquiring Hamilton and making a playoff push. On the other hand are the Islanders, who would have loved to make such an acquisition to make a playoff run, but the star of their team chose to play elsewhere. And now we wait to see if Barzal is ready to take over this team. It's going to be a tough-fought Metro game, and a game I think the Islanders play with a slight chip on their shoulder and steal one in Carolina, 3-2 Islanders. Caps versus Penguins is what is the Capitals' second game of the season. It will be the Pens first, and two teams that will once again be fighting over the Cup come season's end, I'm sure. The Caps are coming in this one on the back end of a back-to-back, and I think we see the Penguins take this one 4-1. Boston Bruins versus Buffalo Sabres. The opponent of that Caps team the night before, the Bruins, will also be taking part in a back-to-back and coming into Buffalo, where I think the Sabres may surprise some people this year, and it's going to start with a W against a tough Bruins team, 2-1 Sabres. Blue Jackets versus Red Wings. This has to be the year for the Blue Jackets, and they know it. It looks like they could be seeing the two most impactful players on the team in Bobrovsky and Panarin leaving at the end of this season and matching up against a team that has question marks all over the place in an apparent rebuild phase in the Red Wings. I think we see a 2-0 Blue Jackets win. Nashville Predators versus the New York Rangers. Smashville starts the season off in New York. There's a lot of question marks surrounding this Rangers team, starting with the main man, Henrik Lundqvist, who is not getting any younger. Meanwhile, the Predators are locked and loaded for another playoff push. Predators take this one 4-1. Chicago Blackhawks versus the Ottawa Senators. I want to say something positive about the Sens and hope they can make some noise this year, but we all know about the woes of the Sens and their seemingly unwillingness to even want to try and be good by management. Blackhawks are coming into this one and taking care of business easily, I think. 4-0 Blackhawks. Winnipeg versus St. Louis. It's always exciting seeing past and potential future playoff matchups to start the year. The Jets are a scary good-looking team, but that's no reason to believe the Blues can't pick up a big win at home against the division foe. Blues 5, Jets 4 in an overtime thriller. Arizona Coyotes versus the Dallas Stars. The Coyotes feel like a team that is ready to become a contender in their own, but the Stars have been in that boat for years now and came up just short last season. I expect a good season out of the Yotes, but it's going to start with a loss to the Stars in Dallas 2-1. Wild at Avalanche, another pair of playoff teams clashing to start the season. The big question is, can we see McKinnon, can we see Rantanen consistently do what they did last season? Many feel they can. I am one of them. Colorado 4, Wild 2. Philly versus Vegas. The Vegas Golden Knights. What a season. It's incredible what they did. And a lot of people find it hard to believe they're going to do it again, right? But then again, a lot of people found it hard they was going to do it the first time. And the Flyers were no slouch in their own last season, and I think the Flyers could come in here, pick up a 4-3 win over the Vegas Golden Knights to start the season. San Jose versus Los Angeles. Welcome back to the league, Ilya Kovalchuk. Don't worry, none of us remember one of the biggest acts of disrespect you can do to a fan base as you did to those Devils fans. As for that, we're all very interested to see how his return to the NHL will be, whether it be love or a hate type of interest. Someone will be happy after this game. We're saying Sharks 3, Kings 1. Edmonton versus New Jersey. 2 of 4 teams that don't get to play their first game until Saturday. 2 teams with high hopes this season. The Devils to continue off of what they had last season, and the Oilers to try and recover from a very surprising down year, who very quickly learned that McDavid can only carry for the 20 minutes he's on the ice. Taylor Hall versus his old team, though. I always love these types of matchups. Devils 3, Oilers 2. And then finally, we have the Florida Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Battle of Florida kicking off the season. 2 teams who have had exceptional seasons last year, and I always have a hard time betting against a loaded Tampa Bay team. For that reason, we're saying Lightning 5, Panthers 1. And with that, a best of luck to every team this season, and a thank you to all of you for watching this video, and we'll see y'all next time.